Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make your very own Birch Wood survival treehouse. And please do remember that if you enjoyed this tutorial, hit that like button as it really helps me and the channel out very much. So the amount of space required to make this house is a 13 by 13 block area as represented by the white concrete grid on the ground. Here are all of the materials that you will need to make your house. Please make sure that you have access to all those materials and enough of them as well. So now that we have all of our stuff, we can get started. So the first thing that we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is come down to the bottom left-hand corner of our grid, if you've made it, and count to the right, 1, 2, 3, and then inwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where everything is going to start off from. We're going to begin by placing a birch wood on the ground. And we want to extend that birch wood to the right by 2, back 2, left 2, and then back together. So we essentially just want to make a circle. And you'll notice that not only do we kind of have like a creepy eyeball now, but this is the centerpiece of our house. We want to raise up every single one of these birch by 9 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we want to systematically take every single one of them and extend them all up by 9 as well. This is going to be the center of the tree. This is how we're going to get up and down. There really isn't another way to get up and down the tree, or at least not in any sort of way that I've designed. I'm sure that you can think of a couple of different ways though. I'm sure that you could fly up there or maybe even propel yourself with TNT. I don't know, but this is what we want to have. Now, the important part about this is that we now want to extend around the outside of this. We actually want to use a row of birchwood planks like this, and we want to extend that 10th row all the way around, like so. Because we already had one, we added 9, 10. So now that we've got an extra row of birch planks, what we actually want to do is now extend the sides of the platform out by 1. So where it eventually ends up looking like is this. When I say the sides of the platform, like we went all the way around, and then you just want to be careful not to connect the corners on each side, and you'll end up with this. And again, it's looking more and more like an eyeball. This is a bit creepy actually. We then want to place a row of spruce wood slabs all the way around the edge of the birchwood planks, just as I'm doing now. And this will make a fine platform for us later on. So all the way around here, here, and here. Perfect. If you want, as we do have it, we can place a little bit of birch fence all the way around on top of the spruce. Why birch? Because it contrasts nicely against the spruce. And of course, we've already used birch a lot in the construction of this house. So it just makes a little bit of sense. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to further extend the tree trunk upwards. So this is rather easy to do. We want to extend it up by 7. So when I say the trunk, I mean just the birch block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom. Easy as that. That's all you got to do. Every single one of them up by 7. We are going to be doing more things to the tree, but that's actually going to be a little bit later on. As a matter of fact, we will probably make the base of the tree before we tackle the leaves. The leaves aren't complicated. It actually just makes it easier if we have the base to make the top of the tree. So this is what we want to have so far. It's not looking too bad. So, up on the top of your tree, where the tree connects to your platform, I'm going to recommend that you destroy a space to have a, well, not that much space. You destroy a space to have an entrance. I'm going to destroy this block, turn it into a plank, and there will be a door here. I don't actually have a door on me, but we're not going to be needing leaves anytime soon, so I'll grab one. Door's going to go here, glass up above it, and then I'm going to place spruce fence left and right of the door because it contrasts nicely against the white of the tree. And then we're going to use birchwood slabs. We're going to place the birchwood slabs in such a way that they sit on the side of the tree, and simultaneously, when you wrap them around, they will sit on top of the spruce fence. We then want to extend them up and inwards together like this until they eventually form a little hat for the door. So we want to extend these slabs on the back. We want to extend them in and up and in and up and in and up, just like this. And then eventually we have a little roof for our platform, or for the entrance to our platform, I should say. So what else do we want to do? So we should probably drop down now a little bit, and we can start working on the base of the tree, because that's a good amount done up there. So the entrance to the treehouse, I'm going to make it the same side as the entrance up here. So basically, all the way down here, I'm just going to extend a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 birch planks extending outwards with a birchwood stair on the end. I want to destroy this block, or these 2 blocks, to make a door, and then I want to place birchwood planks as the floor inside, oakwood door here. I'm going to have a glass block up above, just like this. And I want to make like a fancy looking entrance, or a fancy looking overhang for the door, I should say. So this is going to be quite easy. We're going to start the birchwood slabs, I believe, just up above the glass. Or do we want to cover the glass a little bit? So let's just see. Well, I mean, that looks quite good, actually. I'm quite happy with that. So if you start the slabs on the right side of the house, on the right side of the tree trunk, if you line them up with the top of the glass, extend them, and then extend them up, left, up, left, up, left, up, left, up, left, until you are hanging off the side of the house, and then extend back, and then like in, down, in, down, in, down, in, and then you kind of like, you just get like a cool accent for the top of the, for the entrance. It really just helps to set it out. If you want to contrast like even better than that, you can use the spruce wood slabs as well, by the way, which is a solid choice. Feel free to mix and match, you know, you do you. Okay, so next we have the birch stairs. I'm going to extend the birch stairs left and right by 1 around here, okay? Now we need the spruce logs. So the spruce logs are actually going to follow the same pattern that I've got laid out on the ground with the white concrete. So for some of you that might be easy if you've made this. For the rest of you, maybe not so much. Okay, so right of the stair here, we're going to place 1, 2, 3 spruce logs. Extend in, right, in by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, left, up, and then I can tell you that it's left by 8 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, down, left, down by 8 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right, down, you line up with the front, and then just extend right, just like this. As simple as that. We are going to place a little bit of a decking area, I want to call it, inside of this. So what we're essentially doing is placing a layer of birch planks around the inside of the spruce logs. It's just going to go all the way around, and this is basically just so that we can walk around the base of our house, just like this. So that's looking pretty good. If you want, and this is a complete design choice, this is up to you, it doesn't affect anything. If you want, you can take out the center of the spruce log rows, and you can replace them using spruce slabs. Again, very, very minor design choice. It doesn't make a massive amount of difference, but you may feel and you may think to yourself like, hey, that looks pretty cool. So feel free to do that if you like. So just to give you guys a bit of a look. Oh, and also here as well, just in between these. Perfect. So, you know, you might like that look a little bit better. And then I'm going to place some spruce fence all the way around on top of these spruce logs and also these spruce slabs as well, just like this. And we're just going to go all the way around and we'll just have something that should look like that. So it's looking pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't really look like a tree house because there's no leaves, but we are certainly cracking on. So when it comes to the area down here, there's no reason why we shouldn't tackle it. Grab some grass or dirt, probably dirt, hoe, seeds, water, and first of all, by the way, you could even leave the farm sunk into the ground. I'm half tempted to try it myself. You know what, I think I'm going to try it, so you might not even need the dirt. Okay, but this is what I'm going to do then. So I'm going to hoe all this area. I'm going to plant some seeds, because if I hoe the entire thing, and then I've got to keep topping it up, it will just drive me insane. So I'm just going to hoe the area just a little bit, add some seeds. Why am I using beetroot? Because beetroot's nice and colourful. I really like red, and I like the particular green that the beetroot gives. Like, it's a particularly nice vibrancy, especially with the red. So I just like using it, especially as decorative. And also, who doesn't like beetroot? Probably a lot of people, actually. It's not the best, but other than that, so we've got this, and then you can add a little bit of a couple of water blocks here and there. You know, maybe just in the middle of the sides, so on the right, left, and back. You know, just add a little block there, and then we can just leave that to culminate into something later. So now that we've tackled all of that, we'll just leave that to grow. It might, probably not, but it might grow by the time we get back to it. Another couple of things that you can do to your tree, by the way, is we can add some lanterns to this. Oh, I think I actually incorporated chains as well. So this is a complete, again, it's kind of like a design choice, but if you have access to chains, and you feel as though that you like this design decision, I like the idea of hanging chains off the corner. Oh, maybe, okay, so actually it seems as though that I actually placed this a little bit lower in the original. So the idea would be that the chain would hang off of this. That only really matters. It only matters if you care about hanging something off the birch slabs. So this would have been partially covered. So that design choice only matters if you wanted to, say, like, have this. So if you want, just bump down all of these slabs one row lower. I thought it was where I placed it, but hey, I guess I was wrong. But if you want to, but if you are adamant about adding the chains, and you're like, oh no, those chains are really cool with the lanterns, then drop them down, add the chains, add the lanterns. You can even add fence if you don't want to do chains and with the lantern, although lanterns are pretty, you know, if you're going to build a lantern, you may as well just build a chain as well. So what we're going to be doing here, we want to add a few blocks of glass just in the tree as we extend up. So like here and here, for instance. Like, why did I choose those spots in particular? Actually, I want to do that one row lower down. So this, okay. Why don't I start explaining why and where I'm placing things? That might be a good idea, eh? Okay. So down below here, above the entrance, I'm placing a glass block. I'm leaving half a row's gap, and then an entire gap, and then a glass. So essentially, we're 2 rows lower than the platform, glass in the middle. It just looks central. Same thing up here, so it's basically 2 rows from the top, glass in the middle, it just looks central. And then I'm going to add some glass on the right and left sides of the tree, just towards the bottom, really. So just here, for instance, on the right side, and just here on the left side. So just kind of, I don't know, it just adds a little something. I like the little peek into the trunk of the tree. So now that we've done that, ladies and gentlemen, what you can also do, this is, again, it's up to you, whether you want to do all that, you might want to add some lanterns around the fence of the decking. You may additionally want to do this up top as well, so around the little platform that we've created, perhaps in an alternate pattern. You can see how we've kind of like placed them diagonally on the bottom, and then at the opposite diagonal up top here. You could even add some leaves up top here as well. So if you wanted to, so like around the trunk here, you could even add a little bit of leafage if you do feel as though that it might make it look better, question mark? Probably not, that looks a little bit silly, I don't know if I like that. Anyway, we want to do the actual leaves of the tree now, and it's quite simple to do. So, the idea with this is we want to, around the top of the birch, up at the top of the tree, we want to extend, specifically, spruce leaves, because the spruce leaves, ironically, go with the birch quite nicely. Well, I guess that's not ironic, but it's kind of funny that it just goes so well with a different kind of tree. But anyway, we want to try and match the spruce leaves. Right? Yes. I almost called them birch again. We want to try and match the spruce leaves, and we want to try and match them down to the shape of the platform that we have below us, if that makes sense. So basically, we want to try and match the edge of the platform. Now, I don't know these measurements myself, so I am eyeballing it as I imagine that you guys are. But we want to essentially try and match up the leaves to the edge of our platform as best we can. It doesn't have to be perfect, although it would be better if it was perfect. I'll be quite honest with you. The reason that it'd be better because it's perfect is because the leaves are actually quite symmetrical. If at any point you kind of like have to extend up a row or something like that, then, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. It'll actually make things a lot easier. But I thought that this would actually save us some counting. If anything, it's made things a tad more difficult, really, because without the accurate measurements, we are left to guessing. But we basically just want to make sure that this is the exact same shape. If you get the corners down, then it should be quite easy to do. So, again, whatever you've got to do to make sure that it is the same shape as what we have down below, then, you know, do it. If that means extending the corners up kind of like how I have, and then making sure that we've kind of got this perfect circular shape, then, you know, you do what you've got to do. But as long as it's the same shape as the lower part of the platform, sometimes building is not about precision, it is about haphazardly throwing yourself into a situation where you probably should have just prepared for it. But here we go, we've got our circle now. So now that we have said circle, we are going to take the edge of the circle and we're going to raise it 3 rows up. So the edge of the circle. So 1, 2, 3. We want to have in total 4 rows extended upwards. And when I say the edge of the circle, we want to take, just literally go around it like this, join the blocks together in the corners. It literally is, and I know that I've already said this a few times, so it's probably annoying by now. It's the same shape as the spruce that we placed earlier, like going all the way around the edge of the platform. We are specifically mirroring that shape. We are specifically doing that because it looks quite nice. Because with it being the same shape, it just it just looks. It's almost as if the tree just flows from the bottom to the top. Like, it doesn't look messy. You guys know what I'm saying, I think. So, you know, with it being the same size, you can tell it just doesn't look messy. It just gives a very clean appearance to the tree, which is not something that you typically get with tree houses. Once you've placed those 4 rows of spruce leaves, we are going to place another row of spruce leaves all the way around the top of the inside of our spruce leaves. So we're going to, hey, if Bruce Lee was a tree, he'd be called Spruce Leaves. That doesn't make any sense, does it? That's all I can think about, is that spruce leaves sort of sounds like Bruce Lee. That's literally all I can think about whilst I'm talking about building the top of this tree. Anyway, so we want to add an extra row of spruce leaves going all the way around the top of the inside of this, and another row on top of it. And then you've kind of got 2 options. So, well, first of all, we'll add a final layer. This is a singular layer of spruce leaves all the way around the top of the inside, and I've really got to enunciate spruce leaves so that I don't think of Bruce Lee again. And we want to go all the way around the top of the inside, like this. And then you can either fill the top of this in with glass, or you can fill the top of it in with spruce, or perhaps a combination of the 2, or perhaps you want to add some birch in there. Also, a very solid choice. Although, well, I mean, it's actually quite tall that you wouldn't see it, so you know, you might find that you want to add some birch around the top of it. I didn't do this on the original one, but I'm just thinking now, I mean, it kind of would perhaps be nice to add the whole... Yeah, you can't see it from down below, but it's kind of like a cool thing to have up top. Especially like when you look up and see that there's wood. I don't know, it's up to you whether you like that or not. But anyway, as long as the top's filled in some sort of capacity, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to grab the birch fence because for the next part, we want to add a window. The window is on the front of the house. It's in these 2 middle rows of leaves. You can line it up with the door that's just below, so you can find the center rather easily. You can destroy left, you can destroy right to give yourself like a nice gap. You can fill this in with glass. I'd recommend actual block. Glass pane doesn't grip to leaves, I don't believe. We can add some birch slabs above and below the glass like this. It wants to overhang the glass on the left and right, and then we are able to add some fence in between the slabs. So we get something that looks really cool like this. It's a nice... It just adds a little bit of a window to the house. I really, really like it. So what else can we do? We've actually just about run out of things that I'd recommend doing to the treehouse, but there are a couple more things. There are just a few. I would grab the spruce fence, glowstone, oak trapdoors. I always add these because I think that they're so cool. I know, maybe I'm a bit boring, whatever. I like spruce fence, or any fence, hung off the corners of the treehouse. I like glowstone hanging off them, and I like trapdoors all the way around them. They just look like nice hanging lanterns. They provide light. They're kind of cool to look at. I'd have one on each corner, essentially. So like one here, I'd have just one here on the left. You can make them, so the way that they look cool is if you make them different heights as well. So, you know, it doesn't matter which one's the tallest, it doesn't matter which one's the tallest. It doesn't matter which one's the longest, it doesn't matter which one's the shortest. It's completely up to you in that regard. But if you do make them, and they don't have to hang perfectly off of every single corner, but if you do make them varying lengths, and it doesn't matter which one's which. It's like, oh, the front right one is the smallest, and then the front left one is the second smallest, and it doesn't matter. If you just randomly do it, it just so happens that I have done it, so actually, no, it doesn't. It actually hasn't ended up what I was going to say at all. So I'm just going to shut up about that. But as long as they are all varying lengths, and you don't add too many of them, like 4 is a good number, especially if you're going to add them on the corners. So we also don't want to interfere with our platform, so something like that would look good. But you guys are going to see what I'm talking about in a second. I think that you guys are going to like them too. Why do you keep going the wrong way? Trapdoor, please. This isn't the first time that we've done this. So here, here, and here. So this is what... Yeah, perfect. See? So... yeah, especially since there's not like a particular pattern to them, like it doesn't go around clockwise like shortest, second shortest, blah blah blah. It all varies in length. It just looks cool. I think it looks cool. You know, you can have your own opinion, but that's looking pretty good. So the only thing that you may possibly want to add, perhaps on the side, and you know, this is more so for like if you decide to for survival purposes and such, you might want to add a couple of shelves to your treehouse and add some chests. That's too many chests. And add some chests there. You might want to do that on the other side. You might want to add some composters. You might want to do this. You might want to do that. That's up to you for the outside. But the actual structural part of the treehouse, ladies and gentlemen, is 100% fully complete. All we've got to do is decorate the inside. So I'll tell you what, I'm actually going to go away myself. I'm going to go and do that. And then I'm going to be back once the inside has been decorated and we can take a little sneaky look around. So this is what your birch treehouse will look like once it has been 100% fully completed, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, the outside has changed not at all. It's still looking excellent just as we left it. But where the real changes have occurred is the inside. So, how do you get up and down your treehouse? Basically, the center of the tree is where the ladder is, and the ladder takes you not only to the... hang on. Wait. There we go. The ladder takes you to your little platform where you can have a look at all of the cool things in your Minecraft world. Oh, so many cool things around. Oh, that's awesome. Or we can keep going further up the tree and inevitably we can end up here inside the top. Now this is where all the cool stuff is. So up here there's plenty of room for a giant enchantment area, there's plenty of room for a bed, all kinds of crafting stuff. We even have like a little armor stand hidden here, a little ender chest, cheeky little ender chest hidden behind the bookshelves. We have every sort of smelting thing that you could possibly need. We've got some nice decoration. It's a huge area. It could even be utilized a lot better than I have here, and we can see through the top, and it is kind of cool to have like the birch slabs cladded on top as well. So just a little idea for you how you might want to set out the top of your house, or not, it's up to you, but you can see that there's a lot of space for you. And that's it. I do hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button, as it really helps me and the channel out very, very much. If you're new around here, please do consider subscribing and clicking that little bell next to the subscription button. That will ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. And if you want to make anything else by me, check out the card system in the description below for more tutorials. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.